Hello, I'm Chance Rizzi, and my country of choice was Italy. For key events, I included the Roman Empire, the Renaissance, Risorgimento, which was when Italy decided to no longer have separate states, but instead became one unified state. That's how Italy became a country. Um, then there's World War One and Two, and the Italian economic miracle and contemporary Italy, as they play into the law, architecture, engineering, and other cultural aspects. I placed World War One and Two on the list to show that they shifted from fascism to becoming a democratically governed country. Italy has key relationships with France, Switzerland, Austria, Slovenia, Croatia, Greece, Spain, and the Middle East, as well as strong ties to the EU, NATO, and World War II allies. The allies from World War II played a key role in pushing for the democratic government in Italy after the war, which directly affected the culture they have today. And for Hofstede's dimensions, we have power distance. Italy scored 50, while the US scored 40, which means that Italy is moderately comfortable with hierarchy and authorities. However, Italians expect that authority not be abused. For individualism, Italy scored 53, while the US scored 60. And this just means that there's no real preference for either side of the scale. However, Italy tends to have an individualistic culture where ideas and fulfillment are of value, and there's also a sensible appreciation for group cohesion. For motivation, Italy scored a 70 while the US scored a 62. And this just means that Italy is a highly decisive society and that it is highly success oriented and driven. And people often place importance on status symbols such as cars, houses, etc. It's a norm for competition to be present in the workplace, and it's taught from a young age there in Italy. As for uncertainty avoidance, Italy scored a 75 while the US scored a 46. And this just means that Italy isn't very comfortable with ambiguous situations and they're afraid of the unknown. Attempting to avoid uncertainty creates a constant amount of stress on the Italians, which kind of correlates to the importance of enjoying relaxing moments like sports, TV, pop, music, and that sort of thing. That's their favorite kind of music in Italy is pop. Their popular TV is the Rai channel, which is just news, entertainment, sports, and culture all in one at separate times. For the tips I have for doing business in Italy, informal relationships can reap rewards that formal ones couldn't offer. Making the effort to learn the local language there goes a really long way in establishing friendship and trust. Italy is a very diverse place to be due to the mountainous areas that have separated the country and prevented group cohesion there. Understanding nonverbal cues is also very important there, as there's certain things that we do in the US that wouldn't be acceptable there, and vice versa. Um, and one thing that the Italians often do is they make it known when they disagree with something. So just something to keep an eye on and not be alarmed when you encounter it. And then in order to not insult someone, you should use their formal title until the point where you become closer and mutually decide that it's okay to be less formal. And Italians don't value punctuality the same as we do, and it's pretty common for them to be late. And it's thought of as rude to arrive before the meeting, as you wouldn't want to rush the host. And then for language dialect, the first one that I put was La Riunione verso le cinque, and that just means the meeting will be around 5 o'clock. The second one, se per te va bene, possiamo darci del tu, and that just means if you like, we can be on familiar terms with one another and not use like titles such as like doctor or other things like that. And then the third one I have is come passe tempo libero, and that just means what do you like to do in your free time? And the last one I have is grazie per l'ascolto, tutto qui, and that just means thanks for listening, and that's all.